So we're here with France 24. This is Philip. Oh, there it is. So Philip, you're really from France, huh?
I'm not. I work for French television, France 24, but I'm half British, half German, and I'm based in Washington, D.C.
Oh, in Washington, D.C. You live there too?
I do.
Oh, what part of the city?
I live just north of Union Station.
I don't know where that is.
Pretty central.
Oh, okay, good.
We can get everywhere easily.
Good. So how long have you been out on the trail here? You've been following just the Obama Trail, or?
No. It's been 10 days that we've been traveling around, starting in New York, then moving down to D.C., through the swing states of Virginia, North Carolina. Now we're in Ohio, and we're going to end up in Chicago. And we cover whatever campaign comes into our path. And more than anything, we're trying to cover voters, talking to voters, why they make their decisions.
So I've. Oh, by the way, my name's Chuck.
Nice to meet you, sir.
So, I've been to the Republican and the Mitt Romney and the Barack Obama events, and I see differences in them. There are differences. What are some of the differences? Do you have a way of pointing out what you think the differences of, like, the crowds are?
Well, I think you've got to be very honest. It's skin color to start off with. Most Romney events are largely white. There's no way around it. That's the way it is. I would say that Romney events, the ages are the average age is a little bit higher. It's more of a white crowd. It tends to be more of a well-off crowd. Business owners, for example, small business owners. See a lot of students at the Obama events, and I see more youthful enthusiasm, if you will, at Obama events. I see people leaving them. The Obama campaign uses the term fired up, but I see people leaving them with quite a lot of energy. Whereas at Romney events, it's a little bit more of an aggressive stance, if you will. You know, not violent in any way, but you know, that's the way it tends to be. They're trying to get rid of the incumbent, after all.
One of the things I found out too is the only time I've ever been manhandled in a political event was at a Romney event by the handlers, and you know, I try to remain a little neutral, but when somebody really is touching you and talking to you and like,
well, I don't have that experience myself.
Well, I don't know if I should have, but I did. So so it was a kind of a different crowd there.
Yeah, I mean, for foreign press, there is certainly a difference in terms of access that you get. The Obama campaign tends to be a little more interested in having foreign press along to their events, especially French television. I don't think has a good reputation with Mitt Romney because he was once based in France. He doesn't tend to talk about it a lot, and he doesn't speak in French on the campaign trail, even though he can a little bit.
Oh, he can.
And that's something that we've found out, that, you know, speaking a foreign language is almost seen as negative. So there are no interviews in a foreign language, even though the candidate might speak that language a little bit.
I kind of use the word, it's a hard word to use, but I use the word love for the Obama events. More warm, fuzzy, and the Romney events are colder, just colder events.
I would say that is probably normal in any country, in any kind of campaign, because there is one campaign, the Romney campaign, that wants to get rid of the president, get him out of the White House. So it's a little bit more aggressive. I think that's a little bit natural, after all.
Well, that's a good observation too.
I don't know. I think it's relatively normal, but you know.
You're kicking my camera.
But it's.
I'm sort of trying to get here to work myself.
You can.
Hi.
Hi.
You need to move so we can get in here and work. Yeah, videotape whatever. You know, we've been here for 3 hours, unlike you.
That's a little surprising. The Channel 13 folks usually, is this Channel 13? Oh, this is Channel 11, no wonder. The Channel 11 folks aren't as kind of warm and fuzzy as the Channel 13 folks usually. There are people down there. Okay, we're back.
All right. We got to get out there soon.
Yes.
How was
So,
your trip?
how was your trip?
Was
Have you been staying in hotels and everything?
Oh, we are sleeping in the camp in the RV.
Oh, you are?
We are 5 to stay.
Oh, wow. It reminds me, I was saw one of the Pakistani longships, and they had about 150 people on board, and so I went down into it, and they were all like laddered up, and there was only this much room inside, and it's you learn to live with your brother real quick.
We have more room than that.
Oh, good, good. So, you say you're going to Chicago?
Tomorrow.
Probably. How long? But next weekend to cover the.
Next week we are. Next week we're in France.
Oh, you're in France after this? Oh, good. Have you got to visit any of the estates besides just going to the events? Have you got to visit anything going on
Well,
there?
we are doing the same, like both at a time. We are visiting and working at a time because we're driving around everywhere. So you meet people and you see people, you talk to people. It's really.
How are gas prices around the country?
How?
Are they gasoline expensive?
Comparing with France, it is not.
No, it's not. Oh,
It's not.
How much is France like in American dollars, you think?
I think the price there is a double of here.
Oh, double? Like it might be $8 or something there. $8?
More, I think.
More than that, $10?
It's really expensive.
And we're complaining about gas prices at $3.
Well, everyone has own issues. So we are doing this for France 24 in 3 languages.
Oh, you are?
French, he does French, and Philip does the English, and I do the Arabic channel.
Oh, okay, good. Does Al Jazeera pick it up, you think?
It's very different, I don't know. They have the means to do whatever they want.
They can.
money for it. So, yeah, I think.
Oh, good. That would be good. Maybe they'll pick it up.
It's not the channel I watch.
No, I heard they're a good channel. I heard that they at least get things out there that normally 10 years ago wouldn't have been put out.
But now I think it's different. They are changing. They have their own battle to do.
It's like American media, maybe. American media is really controlled, especially radio, is controlled by 2 huge companies.
Yeah, it's the same. I think the big TV stations are controlled by those
The big
people who
TV
have the
stations
money.
are, too. Good.
Right.
Okay, let me talk to your buddy over here.
In 1 second.
Okay, good.
What is this? Todd, what is this called again?
What?
What is this thing called?
Riser?
So do you? What is your name? I forgot.
Stan,
Oh, Stan. How you doing, Stan?
I'm fine.
So do you do the French?
I do the French. Yeah, I'm the French correspondent, French-speaking correspondent.
Oh, this is really great. You know, I'll get a real quick. All the people up there. All right. Well, how's the trip been on you?
It has been exhausting but fine. I mean, that's great to meet people, to discover people, to talk to voters, to try to understand from the inside what people are going to vote and why.
When we talked a little earlier to Philip, I asked him this question. Let's see what you think about it. I've been to a number of Mitt Romney events with Mitt Romney and Obama with a number of people, and I see a difference in the crowds, not only the look of the crowds, but the sentimentality. And I wondered, well, maybe you had an idea and you could put it into words as a wordsmith, what you saw.
You're completely right. The crowds are completely different. To take a social look at the crowd, Republican events, it's 99% white people. I wouldn't say that it's rich or poor. That's not the real difference. The origin of people is different, and I would say it's much more different, much more mixed in the Democrat meetings.
How about the emotions you get from the crowds? About the same, or?
Yeah, about the same. About the same, because I think, and that's one thing I discovered with Republicans. Republicans, for a French guy, that's very original. That's very different. We don't have those people in France. And
what did you say? Scare people?
I did not say scary people, but that's very far right for us. Very far right, and we have a very different model. What I discovered, they have a real emotion when they talk about freedom, when they talk about less government, small government. That's some values we don't necessarily have in Europe, but they trust that. That's very important for them, and there is a lot of emotion about that, and they love the country.
Amazing. I had a thought about it. I can't think about it what it was. I was going to ask you a question about that. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe it's gone away. Okay. Anything else you think the people in the world might like to know about France 24 or what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to do a good international TV news channel. And when I watch the networks here in the US, I find them quite, I wouldn't say biased, but some are Democrat-leaning, some are Republican-leaning. We try to do something very neutral, and we try to cover all different topics in the world, not just one topic. So I like what we do, and people watching us more and more, and I think that's a good point.
So that's France24.com.
France24.com or France24. You can listen and watch it here in the US and all over the world.
Google it. So if you Google Comerica TV also, you'll see this video on there, and it'll be passed around the world.
Right, fine.
Okay, Stan, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Get back to the fun over here. Well, this is a wrap for the beginning of this show. What we've got going here is former President Clinton will be on the stage in a little bit, and the riser here is kind of small. There are a lot of people. They're filling this stadium now, and they might have to open up the backdrop. They said they're wrapped around the street. I hope you like that little story we had from France 24 and some of the happenings here. So, we'll talk to you real soon.